Today is a scenery day. As you can see at the very beginning of the video, I took off from the front of the gravel truck. I had to wait for a couple heavy wide loads to come in, so I put the drone on the hood of the truck and I flew it straight up in the sky so I could see some scenery. Well, and so you could as well. Then I looped around to try to figure out where the trucks were coming from and how close they were. First, there was a low bed with a 12-foot wide load. I wasn't sure what he was until I saw him there. Looks like he's pulling an excavator or a machine like that. I think it might be a button top loader or a piece of logging equipment, I think, on the low bed. And then behind him was Fern, the gravel truck. So that, well, I'm gonna see the sights a little bit, so I flew up to, I think the top was about 300 meters or something. It stopped and said, you're at 100 and some 300 feet or whatever, which is in the airplane mode, and make sure there's no airplanes around. And I flew higher. Then watch the low bed leave and watch Fern slow down with his truck and pup and go off on the road towards the west. These roads, neither one of them go straight south or straight west, but kind of mostly to the south. The road off to the right that you can see where the dust is floating up, that one goes straight south. But mostly what I wanted to do was to fly up in the air, get a look at the scenery and the trees, and try to get the horizon so I can keep the colors right, and then circle and look off to the east, and we can look at Meekwap Lake. And so I spun the drone slowly around just so you can see it. It looks like there's an island straight out there, but it actually is not. It's part of there's just a big old blob of land that sticks out in there. And then there is an island there, which we can see. And then now we're looking around to where the road loops around from behind where I'm parked and up around. And there's a big old power line that runs east and west up in that area. And I actually have a video of years and years ago parked out right at the ice on the Iosigan with my black Nissan Patrol. But that was, more than 10 years ago now. Loop back around, you can see an oil lease down at the bottom. And then there's Fern and the trucker hauling straight, and that road there goes straight west. So, and it looks like they're going fairly slow, and the reason is that's actually a fairly good slope and soft road, and it was a hard pull. Nothing crazy, but yeah, it was a tough pull. And we were graveling that section of road. Then I thought, well, we've seen that part of the road. Let's zoom in and get just a little bit better look at the Iosigan Lake. Sorry, Meekwap. The Iosigan is another lake further to the south. So the Meekwap Lake does have fish in it. I know people have fished there. I never have, but I don't know how much, or if it's crazy good fishing. It's got to be half decent because it's fairly remote. I would guess that it has jackfish, which are northern pike. Probably has perch. Might have walleye. I don't know about that. But it's a nice, fun, remote place. This time of year, every time I see it, I'm like, man, beautiful colors. And I see way off in the distance the big, tall hills just before I lose the sight. Those are out towards Swan Hills, which are the highest set of hills east of the Rocky Mountains in Western Canada. I thought, well, that's enough of that. Now let's land the drone. So I zoomed in on the truck and then just lowered my altitude. And I was curious if I could get it to land right back on the hood again, but I lost my nerve because it had reset the home point after it was in the air, and I thought it'd be just my luck I'd crash it somehow. So I just lowered the drone down right down in front of the truck. So this is my Western Star gravel truck and a triaxle pup that I pull when I'm not pulling a wagon. And there I am, get it down low, and then I hop out of the truck and see where is the safest place for the drone to land without hitting a bunch of rocks and gravel. And of course my mother would be proud of my clean work clothes. But we won't mention that, and she won't notice either. Get it to land, and then that's the end. I hope you enjoyed the flight and the scenery.